Hello everybody. Sunday afternoon. Witter didn't happen yesterday because I was a little bit busy with that, but I'll explain that one later. So right, what we got first of all, I'm going to do log cabin for you. Okay, so this is, I believe, block number 12. Okay, now it's a bit of a different one. There we go. It's got what I call flanges in all around, like little bits what stick up, flappy bits. It's probably an actual correct name for it, but I call them a flange, and they've been added into each one. Okay, so we've got 2 darks, 2 lights at 1 inch as normal, and then I've brought a green over to the blue side and a blue over to the green side, and I've cut 1 inch strips and I've inserted them in the seams. Okay, folded them in half, inserted them in the seams. Now seams, because it's a little bit different and a little bit strange, I've actually done another little Witter video, okay, which is just me machining this and showing you how. Okay, so once this has gone up, I'll then upload the other little video so that you can see how I was doing it. All right, I don't want to leave anybody out there panicking. And sometimes a visual demonstration is a far better thing than a written or me explaining it. Okay, so have a look out in a minute for another little video. All right, so basically we've got a traditional log cabin going on, 2 dark, 2 light colours, inch wide, but they've each got a flange put in between. All right, so actually you could play around with these when you're quilting. I was explaining on the video, so you could pull one way and then quilt it back the other, and then quilt it the other, and you get this nice little sort of zigzaggy fluted thing going on. Okay, so there we are. So that's log cabin block number 12. All right, and as I say, another video showing you how exactly to do that. Let's do you a little bit of a more close-up on that. Okay, there we are. So I was getting overexcited the other day, wasn't I? And I'll just explain what that was all about. Once a year, my mate and I, and he's a very, very good local artist, he does seascapes and landscapes, and he does the most amazing birds. But once a year we have an art exhibition over at Rock in Cornwall, at the big institute there. So we have this great big hall, and we put all of our surplus stuff in there. Well, my surplus stuff. John is an artist. That's how he makes his money. He's well known. They pay him and everything. Mine could be any of my samples, fabric wise, or it could be any of my drawings or my paintings or whatever, because basically I get too much stuff. And once a year I try to get rid of some of it, is the honest truth. But there we go. So that's normally excuse me, last weekend in September. We're still doing last weekend in September. That's lovely. But I was getting a bit excited because I'd had a little chat with the guy at the hall, and he's had some cancellations. So we're going to have a whole week in August as well. So that's going to be the 10th to the 16th of August at the Rock Institute in Rock. So if you're on holiday in Cornwall, or if you're local, please do nip in and say hello. Full distancing and mask and all that sort of stuff will be having to be done, but that's fine. We can live with that. And you just never know what you find at this particular exhibition, because it depends what mood I've been in and what I've been doing. And John's, as I say, John Laver, do look at him. He's got a new website, I believe, that I don't think it's gone live quite yet, probably next week. But fantastic stuff. So between us, we fill up this whole hall, and it means the days that I get to what we call sit in, I'll be machining and playing and doing, making use of the time, and then if not, John will probably be sat there painting, knowing him. But we have a little bit of a giggle, and it's good fun. So that's why I was getting a little bit hyperventilated the other day, because it's very exciting for me. But it's all sorts of massive work now for this next week, getting everything prepped and ready and presentable and framed and mounted and made to look pretty. So I've had a bit of a full-on week, hence a day late wittering, because I had planned for you this week this new quilt top. So I've had to finish the quilt. Well, it's not quilted, I'll be honest, it's not quilted, it's only the quilt top. And write the patterns, sing the theme tune, write the theme tune, all of that sort of stuff, and get them up onto my website for you, because that was next week's one planned, and I don't like to fall behind. So let me explain this one. Okay, so hopefully you can see that well enough. Actually, I'll take you over in a minute. It's probably safer to do it when I'm nearly finished, because I can see us and me on that stick going all over the place, which is probably not a good thing. So no, this is my new quilt top, my new design, and I've called it Morning Assenbly. Okay, for want of a better title. A strange one, really. Misspent youth, maybe? I don't know. I don't know about, we used to have school assemblies, didn't we? Every morning, at least we did every morning. And we were made to sit on this rather hard floor. That was not always clean, I have to say. It was quite often a bit dusty. But it was wooden parquet. And we'd be sat there all cross legs, listening, board. Oh, look at the colours in that. You can just imagine, especially if it had just been polished. I used to spend all my time looking at designs and things within the wood. Yeah, so this one is sort of slatted, as you can see, in the 5 areas. All right. Actually, let me do this. You might see this picture better. I can put you that up close. Right, so the centre has like what I call plaits. They're like braids, yeah. And it's done, well, I mean, you can cut them as they are, but how I've done this one is with a half hexie template. Okay. There we are. It's lovely. We like this a lot. This is from my mate Andy at Crafty UK. You know, he comes on and does stuff. Well, this is his half hexagon that fits a 5-inch charm pack. So if you've got a charm pack and you don't know what to do with it, this is excellent for that as well, because that will fit directly in and you can cut, and it's got your seam allowances marked on it. And it's really good because I actually found, charm pack aside, I went the version of, what if I had a jelly roll or fabric roll or whatever it is that you're allowed to call it, because I know there's lots of tell me copyright names and things, and I get a bit confused. So I went and got, and I cut lots of 2.5-inch strips like that, see. And then what you find is that the half hexie fits perfectly onto a 2.5-inch, and I'm like, oh, what can I do with that then? Because he actually says on there, charm pack. Well, me being me, he's like, well, I'll do something different then. So I've cut 2.5-inch strips, and I'm thinking, yeah, that will do, because you can have one that way, and then one that way, and then one that way, and you have no wastage. It's really rather good. And then me trying to be a smart Alec, what I did was I actually layered them up, and then I got him and put him on him, and I did. And what I found was, actually, once you made your first cut and removed the bulk of that, you can actually turn it around just with pressure. If you've not got one of them lovely cutting mats that twizzle, you can just, because it's got nice little grippy things on, you can just turn it around and cut. And it actually became a fairly quick thing to do. I was thinking, oh gosh, this is going to take me forever, but it turned out to be quite good. So I was actually cutting 4 pieces at a time. And I would imagine, well, I don't know about imagine, I tried. I did 8. And yes, it worked, but my rotary cutter was having a real bit of a problem with it. So do you know what? Happiness says 4 layers at a time at the most. All right. So basically what I did, put it together in a plait, as I've called them, because they look like braids, don't they? See, I'm back sat in the school hall looking at everybody's hair, and I didn't have any oil. I've always had this short nothing, because me and long hair really don't look like. Ding ding. Playing with everybody's hair in front. There we go. So what I was going to say anyway is I sidetrack. Okay, so we've got a variety of things happening with the patterns and things, and they're all available over on Abbieanne.com. Okay, so first of all, we can have, just if you fancy the quilt, there is a pattern. In the pattern, I've included, because just in case you do need all right, so you've got your half hexie. Okay, so that is just the pattern with lots of photos and how-tos. All right, so you've got loads of colour photos going on in all of that, how to put that quilt together. Okay, so that is just the pattern. All right, so that's lovely. Or you can then have the pattern with a template, and we've got a special offer on that. Okay, patterns are £9, so £9. These are always £8, so we put the two together and we've made it 15, because I can't add up, and it's a little bit of a bargain. All right, so if you want to use your own fabrics, there you go. If you just want one of Andy's lovely hexies, they're up there as well, £8. Okay, so then do your own thing completely. Or limited stock on this, I have kits, fabric kits for that design behind. Now, don't be put off, and I know there's at least 2 of you that I can name out there that don't like random. This actually works as a set design if you want as well, within each of the braids. Okay, the way that I've done it, you can set yourself a pattern as well, but you know me, I like random. Okay, so that's that one there. So the kit includes full-on how to, all your fabric for the top and for your binding. Okay, so you would need to add your wadding and backing and threads. The fabrics are all 100% cotton from Macawa, one of their latest ranges, and some linen texture and some of their dotty stuff chucked in. Really very nice. All right, so lovely fabrics, and a template, of course. Don't forget, you get your template in this. I sound just like one of them off of whatever TV channel, don't I? So we got all the fabrics, we got the pattern, and we got the template, the all important, and that lot is 85. Okay, so you've got 4 options going on. So you've got your pattern at 9, you've got a pattern with a template is 15, you've got the template on its own is £8, and you've got the fabric kit with the template and the pattern is 85. All of those are on my website, and they'll all be plus postage. Okay. Here we are. I feel all official and everything. Bit good, isn't it? So what else has been going on this week? What else has been going, other than my excitement and my mad panic to try and get everything done in order to do this here art exhibition in a week's time. So Monday week I've got to have everything ready. Taking a lot of doing, I'll tell you, but there we are. It's all good, all good. Another thing, just while I'm thinking of it, had a visitation here from Helen, Helen Kent. She's very kindly, and I didn't realise she was going to do this when she came, she's written a blog article about the cupboard. So my cupboard, my therapy cupboard, and you'll find that over on UK Quilters United if you want to have a little look. So this is an outsider's view as they've come in, and I had no idea she was going to do that. So thank you, Helen. And I'm also exceedingly relieved to think it was actually quite positive. Could have been a little bit tricky else, couldn't it? So no, that's good too. So next week we should be on log cabin number 13, which will be the last design square before we can make our extras and put our quilt tops together. Okay, so I do have a little plan for that one. It's probably the only one out of the whole lot other than the original plain one, to have a bit of a plan. And I've had this little bit of a plan going on for a while, and I've actually probably mentioned to you previously, got a plan. So I've saved that one till last. I'm going to do that, as I say, for this week. Now, what else? I'm going to have a special Witter for you the following week, because I will do one from the art exhibition, and I'll whiz you around the hall and show you some of the artwork that's on and available in case any of you fancy it. So that'd be quite good. And I still yet to have, I've got stored up, backed up, a special Witter with Andy from Crafty UK with a Christmas item for you. I just need to write up the pattern for that, and then I'll let you see Andy and I having a little bit of a giggle when he was down here a couple of weeks back, or 3 weeks back. So we've got lots coming up. Lots coming up. Right, so we should all have been at the NEC this week, shouldn't we? I had great plans for that. I was going to get my selfie stick and I was going to walk you around some of the quilts and up and down some of the stands and stuff, and of course it's not happening. Having said that, I see that they've got a nice virtual display online over at Festival of Quilts, so if you fancy a look at some of this year's quilts, they're on display over there, and a few bits of information and stuff, so that's quite nice. That's good. It's also exciting. Right, so what I'm going to do is do my usual 3: tidying, moving swiftly on, exercise, move swiftly, and friends, Romans, countrymen, how are we all doing? Okay, so make sure everyone's all right, because there's an awful lot of flux going on at the minute with what's going on in the world, isn't there? Some of us are closed down, some of us aren't closed down. Now he's threatening to close us all back again, and or at least the vulnerable back again, which I don't think is a bad idea, unless you're vulnerable, in which case you probably hate me for saying that. And I can't say I blame you, but I'd like to see everybody well and happy at the end of this, until they decide what they're going to do as far as vaccines and things go. So yeah, so I hope you're all right, and do remember your friends and go and say hello. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick you up from over there, and I'm going to try and twist you that you can see the quilt and Tom, who's fast asleep on the table here in amongst all my mess. All right, so here I come. Oh, right, now I'm coming behind because that's probably safer, and then I can just gently pick you up and hopefully angle you a little bit that you can see how Tom, look, fast asleep. He's so cute. I'm going to come round here to him. Hopefully that's not too fast. Look, there's a Tom. Yeah, baby boy. Fast asleep. Spoiled baby boy. And then there's the quilt. So I'm going to come back round to the other side and hopefully show you what's going on. Look at all my mess. You can see all my mess. Never mind, eh? It's all good. Right, now, are you getting that? Can you see this quilt? Alright, so... okay. So there's a couple of different ways of using the template included on that. And lots of borders. But that's okay, we like borders. I'm going to turn you back into a proper selfie now. And do that. Oh, you didn't see what I just did. There we go. Right, so there we are. Now I can do this and hopefully show you what's going on there. It's actually quite awkward sometimes, trying to get things to do what you want them to do back to front. I'm not very good at doing things normal, let alone back to front. There we are. See, sunshine. Lots of sunshine out there. Lovely. Right, I'm just going to say, everything, all the new stuff you'll find over on Abbieanne.com in my website shop, along with just about all the fabrics now, and the threads, and the templates, and the patterns, and all sorts of other stuff. And I'm happy to post anywhere. If you're not UK postal, just shout me and I'll work out what what will the postage be, and I'll send it to you. That's cool. I've got no problem with any of that. Okay, so have a happy Sunday, and I'll witter at you in the week sometime. All right, be good.